Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Reverend Andrew Goosby. I'm here not to bring the 66 books of the Bible, the 1,189 chapters of the Bible again. I want to read a little bit about the book of Daniels. I want to read a little bit about the book of Daniels. Okay, let's get started. The book of Daniels. First of all, the book of Daniels. Daniels was a prophet. Daniels was from the tribe of Judah. Daniel was from the tribe of Judah. Okay, and Daniel is the author of this book, the book of Daniels. Um, the date written was 530 BC. The initials when somebody say 530 BC, they mean when somebody put down there when it mean 530 BC, that mean before Christ. That's the initials before Christ BC. Okay. Um, Daniels, he wrote the book. He was the author. Okay. Um, Let me tell you a little bit about this book. Okay. Daniels was a prophet from the tribe of Judah. He got caught up during that time when the Medes and the Persian was ruling Jerusalem at that particular time. Um, the Medes, modern day Iran, Persia, modern day Iraq, okay, at that particular time. Okay, they had them in captivity. They had Judah, the tribe of Judah, in captivity at that particular time. The Medes and the Persians. Okay, all right. Um, I'm gonna read a little bit and tell you a little bit about the story before I read a chapter and a verse. Okay, Daniel's was um, was lied on by the at that particular time the Arabs who was running the Middle East at that time, the Medes and the Medes and the Persians and the Medes. Okay, modern day Iran, modern day Iraq. They lied, said he was going against the king, Darius rules and regulations at the time. They lied on him. They had him. They convinced the king at that particular time of Persia to throw him in jail because he wasn't following the law. He was breaking the law. Okay. So what had happened is that they put him. So they convinced the law. They convinced the uh, the uh, the king Darius to throw him in a den with the lions. So the king believed what they said. The people who was running, Jerusalem at the time, said he wasn't going by the rules and regulations. He was praying 3 times a day, going by his own rules and regulations. So they threw him in a den with the lions. So he tried to explain to the king at that particular time, Darius, King Darius, okay, and and Osiris, that I pray to my God 3 times a day. Okay, Jehovah God, Yahweh, 3 times a day. That's who I look up to. I pray to my God 3 times a day, facing the east, okay, in Jerusalem. Okay, so making a long story short, they finally threw him in jail on false charges, okay, claiming that he broke the law. He don't want to follow the law, okay, the king, law. So they threw him in a cage. So when he got thrown in the cage, the king later on called down there in the hole and asked, "Hey, uh, are you all right, Daniels? Are you alive?" Daniel said, "Yes, I'm alive because God is on my side." In other words, he thought that he was going to be thrown in a hole with lions, and the lions going to eat him up and scratch him and everything else, and eat him, tear him to pieces, tear the man to pieces. So that ain't never happened because Daniel already told the king, okay, that he got God, Jehovah God, Yahweh, I am that I am on his side. This wasn't going to happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got faith in God. I got strong faith in God. He explained that to the king. So later on, the king found out that the people who falsely accused him and thrown him in a hole, okay, the Arabs at that time threw him in a hole. They lied. He turned around. The king, Darius, turned around and threw their kids and the people who accused him of breaking the law in a hole. And the lions and the lions ate them up. You understand? So what had happened is that later on, um, the king made a decree. A decree is like something that you put in law. Okay, put in place for the law or something like that. Okay, so he made a decree that all over the world at that time, you worship Daniel's God. Okay, Daniel's God was I am that I am, Jehovah God. That's who Daniel God was. So finally, the king respect what was going on with Daniel's, and Daniel, the king respect that Daniel had a powerful God. Daniel, God was Jehovah God, Yahweh. I am that I am. Okay, let me read a couple of verses to you, brothers and sisters. I'm in the book of Daniel's. I want to read chapter 6, verse 10. I'm just read a couple of verses, brothers and sisters, and I'm going to let you go. Okay, book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 10. Daniel's always prayed to God 3 times a day. Okay, every day, 3 times a day, every day. He bowed down on his knees to pray. People don't do that these days. People just pray standing up. They don't. That's an old tradition. When Daniel was praying, he used to bow on his knees. Everybody back in them days during that time, Jesus Christ time, Daniel time, they used to pray on their knees. Okay, all right, all right. I'm in the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse uh, 10. Okay, 3 times every day, he bowed down on his knees to pray. Okay, praise God. Even though Daniel's heard about the new law, okay, he still want to. He still, even though Daniel's heard about the new law, he still went to his house to pray. Okay, he didn't care about the new law. He still prays to Father God, Jehovah God, I am that I am. He didn't care about the new law. He prayed, he liked it. You know, they put the new law in effect because the king realized that this man was powerful. He was backed by God. Okay, here we go. He went up to the upper room of his house, opened up the window, that faced the east, Jerusalem. Then Daniel bowed down on his knees and prayed just as he always. Okay? I ain't gonna keep you too long, brothers and sisters. I'm just read a couple of verses and I'm gonna let you go. I'm in the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 11. Then the supervisor went as a group and found Daniel's praying, asked God for help, asked Daniel, seen Daniel's praying and asking God for help. Okay? Then they went to the king and talked to the king about the law he had made. They said, King Darius, you sign a law that you sign a law that say for the next 30 days, anyone who pray to any god or man except you, the king will be thrown into the lion's den. You did sign that.